Hello, and how are you? And here we are in April already, and we want to welcome you to the April edition of the Cannon County Chamber Connection. And it's always brought to you by DTC Communications. And it is hosted by myself, Carolyn Motley, and Keith Reddy. And Keith is the president of the chamber, along with, he works as a reporter for the Courier.
The Cannon Courier.
That's right. And we have some great guests for you today, but we just hope the Easter Bunny was good to y'all. And we also hope that everyone was safe from the storms that were supposed to hit on Tuesday, and I'm sure in some places they did. We would like to mention it was last year on April 1st that a tornado hit our Readable community and just about wiped it out. I mean, that took down the Readable Mill, several homes in the area, Russell's Market. Listen, it's been a year of trying to rebuild from that, and they have got some homes, and there is some property where the old mill was that they're going to reopen that and rebuild something there. But it takes time when something like that happens. So we just want to let them know that they're still in our thoughts. And they've done a great job of sticking together on that because it just about wiped out Readable altogether.
And the local media did a really good job of covering not only that when it happened, but also the 1-year anniversary. Ken Beck did a big feature article for the Cannon Courier in regards to follow up on that. And I noticed, and I know he's not watching, but Scott Broden of the Daily News Journal did a big article for the Daily News Journal with that. And of course, all your news stations commemorated the 1-year anniversary as well.
It was a big storm for there. And I'm just glad that the storms that they were predicting for this area were not as bad as what they had thought it might be. But of course, you never know, and there were areas around us that got hit hard. And we just want them to know that we're thinking about all of them too. We have some great guests today, and the first group I'm going to introduce to you is Galen Longo, and Walter Castillo, and Brooks Seiler, okay. And they are with the Tennessee Small Business Development Center. And we're glad you're with us today, and let's tell people exactly what y'all do.
Well, that's a great question. So we do a little bit of everything on the end of business consulting. 360 degrees, we just don't offer tax advice and we don't offer legal advice because we're not lawyers, we're not CPAs. But we have resources that we can connect you with. We're really trying to get the word out that we exist. We don't have a marketing budget, so it's us. It's coming into the communities, partnering with our stakeholders, and our stakeholders are our chambers of commerce. And what we want to do is we want to reach every business owner that we possibly can so we can help them with business planning, with capital formation, or with dealing with the changes that could potentially be going on with their business economically. We can help them with marketing. We can help them with strategic planning, and whether you're just starting your business or you're dreaming about owning a business or you've been in business for 10 or 20 years, we've got something for you. I would say probably about 50% of the people we work with are looking to start a business. And when you're starting a business with us, we help you through the planning process. We don't do the plan for you. We teach you how to do the plan. And we are able to guide you through the process of understanding exactly what components need to go into that business plan. So that way you're vested in it. You're not just taking an idea, shooting from the hip, looking for some clients, trying to get some money and then pay your bills. Because it's all about you have your money-making aspect of the business, then you have your financial management piece. We want to make sure that you have a focus on everything, so that way you don't leave any stone uncovered, because that can lead to very expensive accidents or expensive mistakes, challenges, or as they like to say, lessons learned. And we want to prevent that from happening if you are a new business and help you recognize those pitfalls before they happen. If you're an existing business, Perhaps maybe you're looking to expand. Maybe you want to buy some real estate, buy some new equipment, buy a new vehicle, hire another crew. You know, we can help you with that process to you feel confident in what you're doing when you're about to make those big financial decisions. We can help you with cash flow planning if you need to get the loan or a line of credit, or if you just need some general assistance on what your business has been doing. Maybe you need some cash flow analysis. Maybe you need somebody to look over your P&L and give it a second opinion, another set of eyes. You know, it's all about connecting people with resources that can help them and help their business thrive, because hey, we're communities based on small business, and there's more small businesses than there are large businesses, and it's very much a building block of the American economy. So we're very proud of what we do. So Brooke Seiler, she is our office coordinator, and Walter Castillo, he is our associate director at the center. And Walter, do you have any words, any thoughts, anything you'd like to cover?
Yeah, I'd just add, we're hosted by MTSU, a statewide network hosted by other different institutions of higher learning. And the beauty of that, it gives us access to a lot of resources, databases that you as an individual are not going to have access to through Google. So we could potentially be giving you industry research, market research from psychographics, consumer data, GIS studies, almost everything across the board. So, and again, it's a free resource. Just reach out, and we're here to help you in any way we can.
I think it's a good resource to have. Of course, I'm familiar with you in Rutherford County and stuff, and a lot of businesses we're seeing here in Canyon County, business owners open up a business and they really don't have any direction on where to go. And if you guys could get the word out to, go down to the clerk's office and grab a business license list that's available for the month and go through there, and you could probably find you some really good prospects of people, and I'm thinking of a few myself, of people that could use your services. Now, you guys also offer workshops, do you not?
We do. We're actually hosting one next month on QuickBooks. So if you're a business owner and you've thought about learning QuickBooks, or maybe you have QuickBooks and you want to get better with it, we have a gentleman who's actually teaching that. Mr. Michael Gant is going to be hosting with us on the 21st, and lunch is going to be provided, sponsored by United Community Bank. So it's going to be a great event. That's going to be hosted at our office at 3050 Medical Center Parkway in Murfreesboro, at Suite 200 on the second floor. You can call us at the office. That's 615-898-2745. You can reach us directly, and we can get you scheduled.
One thing about being the chamber, that we do have a lot of small businesses that they see a vacant building around the square or downtown, and they run over and get a business license, which doesn't cost that much. And you may have the first month's rent and the utilities and everything, but you have to think a little further than the first 30 days. You got to think 6 to 8 months down the road, or a year, if you stay in business that long. So this is free help. And if you will let the chamber know before you open this business, I can put you in touch with these people. They'll be glad to help you. And a lot of the businesses that open up, we know you're not going to be multi-million-dollar businesses. I wished you would be, but most likely not. But it helps to kind of know what you're going to be looking at after you've been there 30 days. And people that think they can go in and open a business and run it 24/7 for 7 days a week and everything, you burn out in a hurry. So you've got to kind of, a little bit of instruction, a little bit of help goes a long way. So if you'll just call the chamber or come by, I've got all the information here, I've got the brochures, and we can get you in touch with these people that can help you. And if you're going to use QuickBooks, which is great because most businesses do, the seminar they're having would be ideal for you. So don't be afraid. If you're thinking about opening a business, that's great. I'm all for small business. But you need some guidance before you do this, because I hate to see people go in very ambitious and very eager, And then 3 months down the road, they're going, oh, I don't know what I got into, but we just can't make it. So get a little bit of help and a little bit of what's in store for you.
What would you guys say is the number one reason outside of planning for a business to not make it?
I would say financial management. And understanding what is going to be a viable resource for them or a viable plan on the end of, do they need working capital? Do they need a term loan? You have a lot of businesses that try to float everything on credit cards or get these quick loans from like Square gives loans. All these, these different credit card accepted, like these merchant services. They offer these quick term loans that basically take the money directly out of their daily sales. And it's a terrible ball and chain on that business. It restricts their cash flow. That loan company is going to get paid regardless. But then what happens is that business owner does not have a choice in the matter. And they're very expensive. And I see a lot of businesses that come to the brink of failure because they're making these decisions on their financing. We encourage any business owner that's even considering to get a loan or a line of credit, come talk to us first. I can help you through the cash flow analysis process and help you understand what exactly a bank is looking for and what debt service coverage means. If you're a lender and you happen to be watching this show, please let us know if you have clients that could potentially benefit from our services. A good piece of what we do is getting people loan ready. If somebody is, apprehensive about perhaps taking that next step because they don't know what to expect from the lending process. They think, well, I don't want to go and get declined, or, I want to make sure I'm doing this right, but I don't understand the steps, or I don't understand how a lender is going to be looking at it. Well, that's where we can kind of help you out. We can walk you through the process. We can't guarantee that you're going to get approved for the loan, but we can look at your credit. We can look at whatever you want us to look at. So we can make sure that you're walking in there and meeting with your loan officer prepared and confident for what you're about to do. And also be fully vested in what you're going to be doing with those funds. Have a plan for those funds. But yeah, that's a great question. Financial management is such an important piece of owning and operating a business, because if you don't have a good financial plan, you can have great marketing, you can have a great location, you can have great employees, but if you're not managing your books right, it's not going to end well.
So if I want to start a business up, can you guys help me get on Shark Tank to get investors?
I mean, we could, if that's what you're looking to do.
I'm just kidding about that, by the way. But no, it's good information on that. I often wondered, financial, that makes a lot of sense. And of course, planning and preparation is kind of like what Carolyn said. There's a lot of business owners that get out there and they're like a shark in the water, so to speak. They have no idea what they're getting into, what they're really getting into. They're eager, they're ready to go, they hustle, and then all of a sudden, here comes the business problems. And the first problem gets them, usually.
That's exactly right. And oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, one thing you've got to look at too is, what is your product? Small business has a lot of competition these days, and one of their biggest competitors is online shopping. So when you're opening a business, look at your product and say, okay, like in our area, it's small. Do we have the foot traffic to make this pay off for you? Because depending on what your business is, we may not have. And that's difficult for you, and we know that it is. So we're trying to help you the best way we can, but research what you're going to sell first and see if there's people here that are going to buy that. You got to look at your age groups. That's like Hardee's or, any of those chain. They come in and look at the dynamics before they ever open up. They know how many people, what ages they are. They open up in areas where there's a certain amount of houses around them. And so you've got to kind of take that into consideration before you just go in and open a business and then you don't have the clientele to come in and make it pay for you. So these people can help you with that. I can tell you what I see every day, But if you want resources and help with it, this is the group that can do it.
And our services are free.
That's right. What, how can you argue against that? I mean, come on.
Do you accept tips if you have a person's business is
I won't
successful?
complain if somebody brings me a Mountain Dew or something like
I
that. I
gotcha.
mean, that's totally acceptable. I think that's within the gift, perceiving limitations.
You don't think you have to claim that?
No, I don't think I got to claim it. But I will say this, we're very accessible, and we look forward to being able to meet with businesses one-on-one here in Cannon County, whether we meet you up here at the chamber or we can come to your business. We can also do Zoom, and we can also do it over the phone. If you want to drive to Murfreesboro, that's fine. We'd love to see you there too. The main thing is that if you're a business and you need assistance or you're about to open a business, please seek us out. You'll be glad you did.
And this is even our industrial part too. We do have industry here in Cannon County, and if there's some services that you'd like to know more about, most of our industry has been in business for years, but there may be something new out there you're looking for. So these people would be glad to come and talk to you too. International trade is a big thing anymore. So, and we do have some businesses that do trade internationally. So just give us give me a call. I'll tell you where these guys are and this lady is. We'll be glad to let you know where that is.
Carolyn, I'm glad you brought up international trade because international trade, if you're manufacturing something that has the capability to be exported, whether it's outside of the state to a major retailer or internationally, we can be a very good resource for you to help you get pointed in the direction to where you have the resources that you know and you feel confident about if you're going into that process and doing things correctly. From a standpoint of business to business, to where, let's say, for instance, you're producing, say, a small product that you have a good niche, you have a good niche clientele, you're selling a lot business to customer. If you go business to business, you look outside of just what's online, and we can teach you how to seek these businesses out, so that way you could potentially even create wholesale business for yourself, create a line of business that was not there before. Another thing, government contracting. That's something that it's kind of an obscurity that most people don't know how to get into. Well, we can show you how you can take the steps, and we have the resources to connect the business owners with. So whether you're in transportation, HVAC, plumbing, anything that's providing a service that could potentially be used of state, local, federal, military, there's contracts out there. And that's a great way to find additional business.
There you go.
Walter, you haven't said much.
Oh, I just
Brooke
had my
hasn't
one
said
bit.
much at all either. What do you guys like about being a part of this small business development?
It's literally every day is different. I'm literally sending emails right now trying to do a contract review for somebody to open up a franchise. Yesterday, I'm talking with a carpenter about trying to get a line of credit. Every customer is different. Every business is different. And if we don't know the answer, our job is essentially we're facilitators. We're going to plug you in with those resources, educate you, and help you meet those gaps. So again, the most interesting thing, it's never a dull moment. We get to travel across the state constantly. We were just in Manchester yesterday. We're going to be going to Murray County, Spring Hill regularly. So really seeing everything that Tennessee is offering and how diverse our economy is really awesome.
And Brooke, what's your role? I mean, I'm sure you put these two guys out on the road everywhere. They come in, they
tell
look
them where to go.
they look at their itinerary for the day, and they're like, oh no, I've got to go here. And well,
So I'm the office administrator, so I kind of help out with all of the scheduling, making the phone calls. I talked with Carolyn to get us here today. Just kind of helping out with whatever needs to be done. I do a lot of like the marketing and everything like that. I just graduated from MTSU in December with a degree in business innovations and entrepreneurship. So this is kind of the perfect place for me to land and learn as much as I can about the small business world or business world in general. I aspire to be an entrepreneur myself, so this is kind of soaking in every ounce of information that I can and just kind of figuring things out.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
so
And what do you want to be?
I have a lot of different ideas.
You got to run them through him first. He'll help
yeah.
you.
He's
See?
my sounding board.
Yeah.
But she was a winner in a business competition last year, and she's a finalist this year, so she's really cutting her teeth right now in all those business aspects.
A big part of what we do is centered around the Center for the Entrepreneurship Program at MTSU. It's a wonderful program, and there's a lot of aspiring business owners that are in that, or they're aspiring to be, or they already are owning their own business that are students that are in that program. Education's a big piece of
Right.
everything the
It
SBDC does.
I'll tell you, another good avenue for you guys to get involved with is our high school, Cannon County High School. We've got a very good business-oriented program with the career technical, and in fact, they've gone to competitions and won business competitions and stuff like that. They actually do a couple of models of business. One is they produce T-shirts, design T-shirts and stuff, and the CTE director at the high school would be a really good person to talk to, I would think.
They do have two businesses out there. One of them is a printing business.
Yeah,
Really?
printing,
Wow.
that's what I
That's
meant.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And then the other one is, well, shoot. We've used the printing, the chamber has used the printing aspect of it, but it's teaching these kids what it's like to be in business, and yes,
Yeah. The
she
foundation.
would be a good one to talk to.
And a
'cause
lot
they
of
do
this
a lot of
area
innovative things.
is agriculture.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
have a strong Future Farmers of America program too, and they actually have gone out and built a building to where they can sell meats and stuff like that. They teach their kids, they teach the students how to go through that process to develop the farm animals and take them off the slaughter. They don't slaughter themselves and bring them back, and they sell the meat and stuff like that. So it's a new program that they've just started in the past year. But yeah, I mean, Cannon County's got some good business ideas, and it's all starting with our students,
With the high school.
the youth.
It is.
Yeah, let's not forget about ag business. Ag business is very important part of Tennessee's economy, and we support ag business as well.
Well, all right. I don't know what else you could want. They've got it all right here, guys. So if you need information, if you want education, if you want to start a business and go in on the right foot, you probably need to talk to these guys right here. And I do appreciate y'all coming in here and giving me some updated material for one thing.
It's an honor. We appreciate it, Carolyn.
And we'll have y'all back before too long.
Sounds good.
And if we do have any, of course, our annual banquet's in January, and I'll tell you right now, you're all welcome to attend that, and I'll let you know more about that
Excellent. Thank you
when
very
the
much.
time comes.
Well, I'm excited.
All right, and we want you to come to Woodbury and visit the distillery. We've got the Good Old Days coming up in May. That's always fun. That's around the square, so
Excellent.
don't be a stranger. Come
Yes,
see
ma'am.
what we have to offer, okay?
Will do. Will do.
All right, and thank you all for coming
Thank you
on.
both. Really appreciate it. Great to meet you, Keith.
Good to meet
All
you too.
righty, I've got another group coming in. You guys can go ahead and
Thank you
head
again.
out. I'm not throwing you out, I want you to go.
You can be part of our
sounds
audience if
like
you
it.
want the rocking chairs over there,
Well, yeah, you can go take over the rocking
There you
chairs.
go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a seat right there, hon. Be fine. Okay,
Guess
we
we should have
got,
taken a commercial break, huh?
well, I don't know what you say in the commercial. I just hum a few bars or something.
Well, we could promote, I could have promoted the car cruising that's coming up. I've got a little commercial going on about that.
Well, that's all right. Sit down here, Leah. We have two more people, and they are new chamber members. One of them is local, and one not so local, but we invite them to be chamber members. We have Jacob Mast. And Jacob, we've got the sun right in your eyes. Can you see?
I can see you.
You are a carpenter and a handyman, right?
That's correct.
And you are looking for, tell people exactly what you're willing to do as a carpenter and a handyman.
Well, what I can do is I specialize in the smaller projects that the bigger companies don't want to mess with, but I love building things like decks, doing home repairs. Right now, I'm doing a project where I'm putting a new ceiling in one of my clients has a house that the ceiling was never finished. So I'm installing the new, it's a knotty pine ceiling and putting the clear coat on. It's going to turn out, it is turning out very nice. I'm very proud of it. So those are some of the kinds of work that I do.
And you would be the smaller, you're not gonna build a house, right?
No,
Okay.
not a big house anyway.
But if you have some type of a project that you need some help with, like building a deck or putting porch railings on or something like this, then you would be one that they could call and you'd be willing to give them a bid on it, right?
Yes. Well, you mentioned building a house. I do have a client that I'm going to build a small house. It's like a tiny house.
Right.
So if it's something like that, I can do that. I do hire help as needed if it's a project that I can't do by myself. So tiny homes, I can do that.
How about a shed?
Yes, a shed. I
So
do
you
a
can have your
shed.
she shed, finally,
I can
right?
do a she shed.
I'd have to fill it up with Christmas stuff, so.
Yeah, you would. But that would take part of, that would take,
Yeah, I
take
could
away
get
from
it
your
out,
trailer.
I could get it out of the
Horse
horse
trailer,
trailer.
yeah.
Well, it's mobile that way, I can move it around, so.
Well, he could probably build you a mobile she shed, couldn't you?
I could indeed.
Yeah, because tiny homes, if your
I'm not
if your
moving.
definition of tiny homes is like my definition of tiny homes, because I've seen them, they can be put on wheels.
Hey,
Yes,
they're
they
very
sure can.
popular.
Yeah.
They
How
are.
how do tiny homes withstand weather, though? That's the thing that I want to know.
Well, you get
How
a
about that?
tornado, it's gonna tear down a brick house. so.
Yeah, but it's going to tear down a tiny home quicker than it tears down a brick house, obviously.
Well, put it on wheels.
And I don't
you-
see any, yeah, what are you going to do to, for shelter? You going to hide under the tiny home in between the gap between the wheels?
That's when you need the old-time storm shelter. That's
Tie it
like
down.
somebody told me about the tornadoes and they needed to build what we used to call a storm shelter. And I thought, I'll get under the bed or in the bathroom or whatever, but I'm not going in a storm shelter because there's a lot of other things that live down there. Depends on how nice it is. If it's one of those.
She wants the storm shelter to have like painted walls, and maybe electricity, air conditioning out run to it.
I want it to
Little
be rather
TV with
nice.
satellites. And
Like a tiny home, but underground.
That's right. Well, now they have storm shelters that are made out of metal and everything that you can put in your basement or I guess in a room in your house. They're not too pretty and they're not too big, but hey, you can all get in a pile in there if it's a bad enough storm. So,
Absolutely, yes.
see there, he
It's an
knows.
option.
That's right, that's something to think about.
What
too.
is your favorite thing to do as far as carpentry project? What's been your favorite thing to?
One of my favorite things to do is building a deck.
Okay.
And anything that I can, like that ceiling project that I mentioned, that has been really enjoyable because it is taking a certain part of the house that is not the way the customer would like and adding new wood. I love working with wood. So anything like that where I can cut, shape, paint, stain, wood, that's my bread and butter. That's what I love doing.
Yeah. Okay, I like wood too.
Yeah.
And my granddaughter and her husband just built a house in the Bradyville area, and her whole ceiling is wood, and it's gorgeous. She's got a high ceiling, but it's really pretty. And they did it themselves, so
There you go.
she designed it, her and her husband, and they built this house, and they've got a beautiful front door, and it's kind of a rounded front door, and I told her when I first seen it, it kind of looked like a hobbit house. But it's gorgeous. But anyway, you can do things like that. You could probably fix doors, or
Yes.
if they needed a window. Do you put in windows?
I do. I have done some of that. There are companies that specialize in that, but I have done that. I put new storm doors for a client, new entry doors and storm doors, so I can definitely do that.
Do you
And
restore
you're-
windows?
Restore,
Restore windows, yes.
like wooden windows.
Wooden windows, okay.
I could do that as far as, I don't know what restoring a vinyl window would look like.
Gotcha. Okay.
But a wooden window, I would know how to do that, to put the glass back in.
All right. I know there's, in fact, the courthouse, they're talking about doing a restoration of windows at the courthouse, simply because they got a grant to do that, but they can't replace them because it's on the National Historic Registry. And they can only restore them, so to speak. So they're going to have to do some repair work and whatnot. And so,
Well, yeah, those windows came over on the Mayflower that are in there.
didn't the
So,
courthouse come over on the Mayflower too?
no, it was rebuilt.
That was a
The first
prefab
one
building?
burnt down. But anyway, this is good to know because there are a lot of big companies that they don't have time, or they're not interested in doing a smaller project. So I used to get calls all the time about people needing some small something done. And I thought, I don't know who to send you to or who I could send to you. But Jacob has joined the chamber, and now I have his information. So if you're needing something done that's minor or something that a big company's probably not going to come in and fool with, give me a call and I'll get you in contact with Jacob. Because I think you would do a good job, Jacob.
I would.
You look very trustworthy.
Thank you.
There you go. Now then, Leah, we're going to talk to you, and she is also a new member of the chamber, and she is not from Cannon County, but she's hoping that she'll get some customers from Cannon County. And this is Leah Meadows, and she is with Mainstay Suites in Murfreesboro. And Leah, we need you to tell us a little bit about
Our hotel.
Yes.
So, so I'm with the Mainstay Suites in Murfreesboro. We're right off of the Old Fort Parkway exit off of I-24, across the street from Sam's Club. It's an all-suite property, meaning the rooms that we have has the fully equipped kitchens, really ideal for folks that are staying a little bit longer than a couple of days, although we, of course, do not discriminate. You can stay for 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years.
a year.
We will take you. We have, of course, the conveniences of apartment living, but also some of the amenities of being in a hotel. So we have staff on property 24 hours a day to help with anything that you might need. Like I said, I mentioned the rooms have the fully equipped kitchen with, pots, pans, the
Everything you need to cook a meal.
absolutely. And we actually even have small appliances in
Oh, all right.
in our lobby that we loan out to some of our guests, like crock pots and blenders and air fryers, things like that if you needed it. So we're right in the heart of Murfreesboro, easily accessible. And I know there's a lot of folks that are kind of coming and going. It's really ideal place for people that are not necessarily able to commit to a long-term lease with apartments. So we're a good option for something like that.
Oh, okay.
If
Now-
they're renovating their house, they just need a place to stay, while
Until that's
work is
done.
being done. That's what we're there for.
I'm trying to figure out where you guys are on Old Fort Parkway. You say you're across the street from Sam's or on the same road?
Across the street from
Oh,
Sam's.
but next to Texas Roadhouse?
Yes.
Okay.
Right next, like 2
Okay.
doors down.
How long have you been there?
The hotel was actually built in 2019. We opened late.
Thought it was a
2019.
newer place.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Now, how many people can a suite kind of?
So we have 3 types of suites. We have the ones that has a king-size bed, ones that have the 2 queen beds, and then we have the 1-bedroom suite. So that has an actual separation between the living
Okay,
room
yeah.
and the bedroom area. All of the suites have pull-out sofas. So the ones with the 2 queen beds can essentially hold up to 6 people comfortably.
Gotcha.
Well, I don't know about comfortably if you have full-grown adults, but
Right.
maybe.
Maybe you'll hang your feet
more
off
like
the
cheap-
pull-out bed, right?
Yes. But a family of like 5 or 6 could very easily be accommodated and something like that. And the rooms are pretty spacious because of having the extra space for the kitchen and essentially the living room area. So we actually have a handful of folks that are there for months on end,
Right.
specifically like the way I had described it, where they're in transition from moving from one area to another, or, you know, their houses are being worked on and what have not, and it's pretty comfortable living for, you know, for a family.
And
We
a-
are pet friendly.
Yeah,
So-
and a suite
Oh,
like
you are
yours.
pet friendly. Well, that's good
You
to
know,
know.
I've had so many people that I know of so many people that, you know, they had trouble trying to find a apartment or a home
Yep.
simply because of their credit. It's amazing how, you know, apartment complexes now are running off your credit. And if you don't, if you missed one payment or missed half a payment or something, they won't even bother with you. You know, I knew a lady that she became homeless because she could not find a apartment or a house. But she could afford things. She had plenty of money in the bank, you know, but she couldn't, nobody would approve her. And something
That's
like what
definitely a
you've
good
got
option
going
for
on
us.
is a good option. Do you also have in your suites any type of meeting space at all, or is it just a,
No, unfortunately, that's one thing that our hotel does not offer is private meeting space, but our lobby area tends to become kind of like a good congregation area for
Hang
folks
out
that
and
are,
stuff like
you know,
that, yeah.
they just don't want to be cooped up in their rooms for the long time, you know, for a long time. But we do have several TVs in our lobby area, and we also have a breakfast area. I forgot to mention that. We do provide continental breakfast every morning for our guests, so there's, you know, TVs there and lounge area where folks can just kind of, you know, sit around, and if they wanted to do their work out there instead of in their rooms, they're welcome to that as well.
because I'm sure you have like free Wi-Fi and
Yes,
stuff
we
like
do.
that available, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yes, we do.
The thing that would probably be most used by people in Cannon County is we do have some bed and breakfast and we do have an inn. But a lot of times there are family reunions, there are funerals, there are a lot of times events that come into Cannon County that are more than one-day events, and they run out of room.
Yep.
And so if I sent some of these people down there.
We're happy
you're-
to accommodate and definitely work with
Even if
folks
it's
here.
just an overnight type
Absolutely,
thing.
absolutely.
All
We
right.
definitely do that.
It's amazing how in events that happen around Murfreesboro, especially since we're coming upon summertime.
Yep.
How all of a sudden, all of the Murfreesboro motels and hotels, and there are a zillion of them, get packed.
Yes.
You know,
That is very
even,
true.
okay, here's one for example. National Super Speedway. They'll hold their races in June and July. And you can't find a motel room anywhere. Not just in Murfreesboro, Nashville, and surrounding areas, you know. So it's good to always have new motels
That's coming
and,
up.
and suites like yours.
Absolutely.
Well, you have MTSU that has a lot of sporting events and hold a lot of
Right.
tournaments and things too. And people that come in for ball games and everything, they're going to fill up, you know,
Absolutely.
so this is a
Absolutely.
good thing.
Mhm. And just as you mentioned, with summertime coming up, we have students that, you know, are taking classes at MTSU but don't necessarily want to stay on campus. We're
There you
there
are.
right for you.
How much do your rates normally run, like on a weekly rate, if somebody wants to?
So our rates are, they're per night, they're done per night, but depending on how long you're staying is when your rate gets better. So, because the point that our goal is, of course, to try to get folks to stay longer. So it's not calculated per week
Gotcha.
per se, but it does depend on the day, you know, the day of the week that you're coming in. If you're staying short-term, depending on how busy we are, it does run anywhere between $159 to sometimes it gets up over $200. But on the slower time frames, nowadays, specifically middle of the week, that's when we really would love to have more folks stay with us. The rates are a lot more competitive than that. And
Right.
we do offer all kinds of discounts like AAA, AARP, government discounts and what have not. And of course, you know, companies that have, you know, larger volume of travelers, we're definitely happy to work with them.
Well, Gatlinburg has different prices for different times of the week,
Yep.
different days of the week
Yep,
too. So,
and seasons, that's
Yeah.
definitely, something that in our area, for some reason, the holidays tend to be a slower season, which, of course, that's when we're able to offer deeper discounts than compared to the summer and
that's because they're all staying with family.
Well,
But
and it's
sometimes,
colder and
sometimes
there's
not
as many
everybody wants
around.
their family in,
Well, that's right too.
or they can't. Maybe there's not enough room. That's what we're there for.
So if you're needing a place and we're all filled up, you can call the chamber. Or if you're needing a place to stay while reconstruction's being done on your house or anything, and you want them for more than one time, one night, you can call the chamber and I will give you the information for the Mainstay Suites in Murfreesboro. And I have sent people to Murfreesboro on several occasions because there was no place here for them to stay, so.
Definitely.
And
we'd
that's
love
what you're hoping for. You don't
Absolutely.
expect everybody from Woodbury to run down there.
to- That would be the dream. But being realistic, I'm pretty sure,
You're
it's-
wanting the overflow, aren't you?
Absolutely.
All right.
And you're right next door to, like I said, Texas Roadhouse, if you know where that's at.
And if you know where Sam's Club's at, it's right across.
Storage,
It's right
yeah,
across
there's
the
some
street.
storage suites over there too, isn't there?
It's right next to the storage.
Okay,
the red-
yeah, I know where you are
Red
now.
carpet storage, I believe.
Because we were talking when she told me about you, we were talking, I said, I've heard of that, but I don't know exactly where it is. And she told me Sam's Club, and I'm thinking, I don't know if there's one over there, Sam's Club. I know there's one on the same side of the road, but you got to go around the corner, and it's Wood Spring, I think.
No,
is
that's
the name
we're
of
a little
it.
bit closer
Yeah.
to
But
Old
you're
Fort than
closer to
that.
the Old Fort Parkway.
Yep.
Yeah, good deal.
Okay, I got one more guest. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk to us about?
Just come and visit us. Feel free to give us a call if there's anything we can help you with.
All right. And how about you, Jacob?
No, I'm good. I appreciate the opportunity to be
Yes.
here.
Well, that's quite all right. We'll find you some decks and some tiny houses to build and,
That would be awesome.
Real
no,
quick,
there are some.
Real quick, because of the opportunity of Rewind and stuff on TV and on YouTube and wherever else this goes, tell us a little bit about how people can get in contact with you.
The best way is my phone number,
What is your phone number?
931-314-2654.
Okay. And you?
Phone number is 615-904-6868.
All right.
If
Good
you
deal.
didn't get that, call the
Call.
chamber and I'll give it to you.
Carolyn wants your attention, so call her
I do.
first. and then-
I do want
yeah,
your attention.
okay. So there we go. All right. Well, thank you, guys. We got one more guest, you say?
Yes, we
Okay.
do. We have a
We got to yell at him, I
guest.
think. Okay. Or her. Who's our Art Center guest out there? See, I'm not afraid to yell.
No, I know that, Keith. Thank you both for being on there,
Y'all
okay?
have a good day.
And you
Good luck
too,
to you.
Leah. And now we have R.J.
Yeah.
Pelhaney.
Pal Hagee.
Pal Hagen.
There we go. We got it.
Pal, as in pal?
Pals and pal, hay as in hay, gee as in
Hagen.
geese.
Okay.
Just like it's spelled.
You know, I
Exactly.
run across wild names too. I'm in sports and stuff, so.
It's from Hungary. It just got slapped on there when I was born.
Oh, is
so-
that what it was?
Not a
Yeah,
thing
that's
you
what
can
it
do
was,
about it,
yeah.
no.
We'll
The
let you
R
off
and the
of
J
that.
is pretty simple, though.
This gentleman is with the Art Center, and he has a lot of different job titles, but one of them is he's going to talk to you about all things Art Center.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm the director of arts education here. So I'm in charge of all the school shows, and during the summer I'm in charge of our summer conservatory, which is a little bit more intense of a summer camp. We have 3 sessions, 2 junior sessions and 1 senior session, and the junior sessions are for kids entering 1st grade through kids entering 5th grade, and the senior session is for kids entering 6th grade to seniors in high school. And it's a 2-week intensive where the kids will get acting, music, and dance lessons, and then taking those skills and implementing them and putting on a show all in a 8-day span. It's a whole lot. It's a lot of fun. They learn a lot. and get some new skills, and it's a whole lot of fun.
The kids have a great time.
Oh, absolutely.
I've seen them come in here where they have their head down and won't speak to anybody. And by the time that their time is up, you can't shut them up.
Oh, absolutely. There are some kids who come in they will not utter a word at all, and by the end, they're singing and whistling Dixie and doing everything they could possibly do. So it is a whole lot of fun, and it is a great way for kids to comfortably get out of their shell, very good for public speaking, and just building some new interpersonal skills, teamwork skills, and there's, a lot to learn in the conservatory program. The junior sessions, the first one is June 3rd through the 14th, and the second one is June 17th through the 28th. And if you get your form in before May 1st, there's a $10 discount. So instead of $175, it's $165. And for the senior session, it is $225, but if you get that form in before June 1st, it's $215.
What are the hours on these?
So the conservatory starts at 9 a.m. That's when we start. We usually open the doors around 8 o'clock, so you could start dropping kids off around 8:30, and we end at 3. It's basically a school day.
Right.
Yeah.
And lunch.
Yep, we provide lunch for a majority of the days. I think Fridays are the only days we can't provide lunch, but that's all included in the price. You don't have to pay extra, nothing like that. We may ask you to send the kids over with some clothes or stuff for their costumes, but we also have plenty of stuff to provide: costumes, makeup, stuff like that. And we got a lot of fun shows planned for the kids. The younger kids in the junior session will be putting on Disney's 101 Dalmatians Kids, so that's a lot of fun. And then the seniors will be putting on Monty Python's Spamalot, the hour-long version.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a very fun, interesting, fascinating summer, to say the
Hey,
least.
there's a lot of really talented kids that come.
Oh,
And there's a
absolutely.
lot of repeat customers, aren't there?
Yep, we do get a lot of repeat customers, but the nicest way to put it, I always call it the way I see it. Not everyone is for every part or for every show. I'm going to put every kid in a spot for them to succeed. It doesn't matter if it's your first show ever or if it's your 1,000,000th show. I'm going to put you in a spot for your kid to succeed on that stage. We actually had last year, in the senior conservatory, the child who played the lead in that, it was his first show ever, and he came in and earned it and knocked it out of the park. So we'll coach you up.
You know, my office is in the Art Center gift shop in the corner over there. And of course, they just had some school shows. What was it, Tom Sawyer?
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer,
Right.
yes.
And the kids would come in the gift shop and they wouldn't see me over there. And then when they would just kind of stop, because these are kids that are coming from other schools. I mean, there was one little boy, he came in there and he had his hands in his coat pocket and he was walking around and he saw me sitting over there and he came right over the desk and he goes, "And how are you doing today?" And I thought, "Well, I'm doing fine." And he goes, "They have a lot of talented people in that show." And I said, "Yes, they do." And he goes, I says, "Have you been here before?" He goes, "Oh, yes." He says, "I come to the conservatory every year." He says, "I've been in a lot of shows here." Listen, you could have put that kid anywhere, and he could have talked to you
Oh, yeah.
just like an adult, very polite. You know, most of the kids don't say a whole lot when they see you, but this one, he was ready.
Yeah. It's my vision is to not sort of water it down as I treat the kids as I'd treat an adult cast. I'm going to expect a lot out of them, but my expectations are realistic. It's, as I said, we want the kids to succeed and fall in love with theater and performing, and we'll find a spot for your kids somewhere to shine on that stage.
Now, you're teaching drama at the school
At
now,
the middle
aren't you?
school,
At the
yes,
middle
at
school.
Cannon County Middle School. It's been just a lot of fun learning experience for myself and also for the kids, for some kids who've never heard or seen any sort of been exposed to theater at all. And I'm happy to report that within 2 years of the middle school's existence, by the end of the school year, we would put on 3 full-blown productions with those
All
kids.
right.
So that next one's coming up in May.
Well, all right.
When
See,
you say full-blown productions, is the public invited to these?
Technically, the public is invited to it. We make sure that the parents of all the kids involved get their tickets first, but
Yeah.
tickets will be put on sale through the school in the next month or so.
And where does the productions take place?
Here in the Arts Center,
here,
yeah.
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So there's 2 groups in the school right now. They're putting on 2 30-minute shows, sort of spoof comedy shows. So those are being worked on in the school currently, and yeah, we're just ironing out the fine details of when exactly
Well-
it'll be between baseball and softball and schedules and
yeah,
all that stuff. We need to make
And-
sure it's a day everyone's available.
And this is new to them.
Yes.
This is something that they haven't been offered before.
Absolutely.
So this is a good thing. I took drama
Yeah.
when I was in high school.
I was basically forced into
I'm
a
not an
drama.
actress.
I was forced into a drama class when I was in 5th grade. I was a class clown, and my history teacher was the theater teacher and grabbed me by the ear and said, "You need to do this."
If we had drama in school, I caused it, but no. If we had drama in school, I guarantee I would have been forced into it myself, but no, we didn't. We had plays, don't
Oh,
get me
yeah.
wrong. We had a couple of, I went to a Christian school, so we had religious plays. And I had no choice at one play. I had to be in it, so. And all I did was yell out 2 words and act like I was shot. That's it.
Perfect.
Hey, worked
That's
for
what you
me.
got to do. That's what you got
Worked
to
for
do.
me. I didn't want to have to memorize a bunch of lines and.
I had a great drama teacher, and we used to do commercials
Oh, yeah.
and everything. It was fun. It was.
Oh, yeah. It's our class. Some of the kids, I'll ask them to do things, and they'll look at me like, what do you,
You
and I'm
want
just
me to
like,
do
you'll be
that."
fine. Don't worry about it. We'll make it
I
happen.
got to tell you something about RJ. He is, you would think a little kid because he's loud when he talks.
Yes.
And he has this way of talking that's very authoritative. And you would think that the little kids would faint and fade away. But they love him. So
Well, thank you.
they do. I mean, you can tell they're not the
It-
least bit afraid of you.
Yeah, but then there are some times where they're very afraid when I'm like, I need you to quit climbing on the walls, but it is, I've
Yeah,
been
we
very
do have a
lucky.
few that like to play
Yeah.
in the water in the
Yeah,
bathroom.
yeah, I've been very lucky. The kids and all who have been coming over the past 2 years who have been in the school shows and been to conservatory to see where they've grown from when they first walked in the door to where they are now is just, it's very,
is amazing.
it's very heartwarming and humbling to see how much they've grown.
It is. And what else? You have another show coming up. It's Finding Nemo. That's one of the ones where the kids come from other schools.
Correct, yep. So Find Nemo Junior. There are 2 public shows. It's May 4th and 11th for the public to come see Finding Nemo Junior, and tickets are on sale for that. And currently, we have The Crucible going on. That one's not necessarily for the younger kids, but for parents. It's a great, just drama thriller show, and it's going on this weekend and next weekend.
Now, the Finding Nemo,
Mm-hmm.
that is, you can book a field trip from your school. Just
Correct.
call the Art Center.
We have
Homeschoolers can do
we have
this.
very limited seats left for schools for Finding Nemo Junior, but feel free to give us a call if I can find space for them. I'll put you in. But for any teachers watching, we announce our school shows, so all 3 school shows in the school year around the first day of school in August, and you could book however many field trips you want as soon as that opens up. So
Right.
you won't be left behind.
So we got to find space to find Nemo.
Oh, absolutely.
I got you. Okay.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell us about the Art Center?
I think that's all we have for right now. Be sure to come on out, come look at some of the art we have up on the walls, come see the shows. We have just really, really talented people that keep showing up to be in our shows. You won't be disappointed.
They have a great gift shop.
Absolutely.
There's a little store right next that's attached to the Art Center.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of products in there that you'd be interested in. So, yeah, there's something for everybody here.
Absolutely.
So call the Art Center, 615-563-2787. And they'll be glad to help you with anything you need to inquire about. But if you want something for your kids to do this summer, by all means, the
Ask
Summer
for RJ.
Conservatory. Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for having
Well,
me.
thank you.
You have a great rest
Thank
of your
you.
day.
All righty. Okay, I've got a couple of events here that I want to talk to you about. On April 20th, it will be the 15th Annual Lions Club Princess Ball. It will be held at the Art Center from 6 to 8:30 p.m. This is a father-daughter dance and dinner, and proceeds from this event will be given to the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. But you must be a resident of Cannon County to attend this. And then April 27th is the first cruise-in of the season, and it will take place on the square in Woodbury from 4 to 7 p.m. All makes of cars, trucks, and unique vehicles are welcome. There's no charge to cruisers or to the public. And this event is presented by the Cannon County Chamber of Commerce and is sponsored by DTC Communications, Shelter Insurance, and O'Reilly Auto Parts. And then also on April 27th is the Short Mountain Folk Festival, which will be held at the Short Mountain Distillery, and you'll be able to enjoy crafts, music, and food. They have a great restaurant up there. May 3rd and 4th, Cannon County Good Old Days will be held on the square in Woodbury, presented by the Cannon County Senior Center. Music, pageants, dog show, vendors, lots of food, lots of crafts, plus a parade. And if you are a vendor and you would like to set up a spot, if there's any left, you can call the Senior Center at 615-563-5304. And when you come to this, bring your own chair and stay all day and enjoy all the shows, because there's something going on stage all the time. And then, of course, May 1st through the 11th is the Art Center Findings Nemo Jr., and that is part of their school matinee series. And you can book a field trip, or if you have a homeschool group, you might call them. It seems like, from what RJ has told us, it's about filled up, but you can always call and find out for sure. What do you got?
Car seat safety check. This has been held over. They had some bad weather earlier, I guess it was last month when they tried to do this. Cannon County Health Department is going to be doing this April 22nd, and this is in conjunction with the state of Tennessee. This is a car seat safety check to make sure your car seats are installed correctly, and if not, they'll help you do that. It's going to be at the Cannon County Health Department, located at 106 Alexander Drive from 1 to 3 o'clock. Now, a couple of future events that you want to keep in mind. We talk about our car cruise-in. Well, there's going to be a car show. It's in conjunction with somebody who was Cannon County, and that's the 3rd annual Showing Off for Shelby. That's going to take place on Sunday, May 19th. Registration fee is $20, and we're going to give away prizes for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place for various classifications and such. There'll be event shirts, there'll be food, all kinds of stuff. And this is going to be at the Experience Community Church, 521 Old Salem Road in Murfreesboro. Shelby Jordan was a Cannon County resident who passed away due to an overdose, and her family has put this together for 3 years to help proceeds go toward prevention programs and such. It's a great program. And also, don't forget, June the 1st, mark this on your calendar. You won't, if you don't mark it on your calendar and you forget it, you won't forget it when you come through town. 7th Annual Townwide Yard Sale and Craft Fair. And if you'd like to get in on this as far as running a booth, call Trish Forrest at 615-427-2539, and that will be on the square in Woodbury on Saturday, June 1st. So there we go.
And we are out of time, and we've had a lot of people on the show today. And we're glad you've watched, and we will see you again in May.